Eddie Hearn, promoter of Anthony Joshua, is eager to set up a major fight between Joshua and Tyson Fury, regardless of the result of Fury's highly anticipated rematch against Alexander Usyk on December 21st. Saint. According to Hearn, this matchup is one of the most significant and lucrative bouts that could be made in boxing today, especially for British fans. Fury, 34-1-1, 24 KOs, is set to defend his WBC title and attempt to regain the WBA and WBO belts from Usyk in their rematch, but Hearn believes a Fury-Joshua fight would still generate massive interest even if Fury were to lose. Hearn is confident that the fight would be a massive draw because both fighters remain two of the biggest names in the heavyweight division, with their rivalry and contrasting styles capturing the imagination of fans worldwide. If Fury comes out victorious in the rematch against Usyk, the path to a fight against Joshua becomes even more exciting. Fury would retain his titles and could choose Joshua, 28-4, 25 KOs, as a voluntary challenger, making the fight even more valuable due to its status as a title defense. On the other hand, if Fury loses, Hearn still believes the fight is marketable due to the sheer magnitude of their names in the sport. Both Fury and Joshua have long been considered top heavyweights in their era, and a fight between them has been discussed for years. The rivalry has been fueled by the ongoing debate over which of the two British champions would prevail if they ever met in the ring, and Hearn is eager to capitalize on that narrative while both fighters are still active. Even with a potential loss on Fury's record, the stakes and public interest in this fight would remain high. A large part of the motivation behind Hearn's push for this fight is the massive financial potential involved, particularly with Saudi Arabia reportedly offering a substantial sum to host the event. In recent years, Saudi Arabia has emerged as a key player in hosting major boxing events, with big purses luring fighters to the Middle East. Anthony Joshua himself fought in Saudi Arabia twice, first in his 2019 rematch against Andy Ruiz Jr., where he regained his heavyweight titles, and again more recently in a fight against Robert Helenius. Hearn sees the financial incentive from Saudi Arabia as too significant to ignore. While Joshua is already among the wealthiest boxers, with an estimated net worth of $200 million, a fight against Fury could add another $100 million or more to his earnings. Given the scale of this payday, it would be hard for Joshua to turn down, especially when compared to other potential opponents. Hearn also argues that Joshua would have a better shot at beating Fury than in a possible rematch with IBF heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois, who recently handed Joshua a tough defeat at Wembley Stadium. Dubois stopped Joshua in the 5th round in what was a painful loss for the former two-time heavyweight champion. The defeat was particularly tough because it seemed to highlight Joshua's vulnerabilities and left questions about whether he could still compete at the top level. A rematch with Dubois would be a risky move for Joshua, as another loss would damage his standing in the heavyweight division further. Hearn believes that taking on Fury, despite his size and experience, would present a more winnable opportunity for Joshua. At 36 years old, Fury's best days might be behind him, and Hearn feels that Joshua could exploit this, especially given Fury's recent injury setbacks and long career filled with grueling fights. My advice is to hold off on making any decisions until after December 21st, Saint, when the Fury vs. Usyk rematch takes place, Hearn recently told Sky Sports Boxing. He explained that the outcome of that fight will be crucial in determining the next steps for Joshua. If Fury were to lose to Usyk, it could set up a blockbuster fight with Joshua, where both fighters would be coming off defeats, but still capable of drawing huge crowds and pay-per-view buys. Conversely, if Fury were to win and retain his titles, a voluntary defense against Joshua would be the biggest event in boxing. Hearn emphasized that, regardless of the result, Fury versus Joshua would still be the biggest fight in the division by a mile. With so much interest and money involved, Hearn is eager to explore every possibility to make this fight happen, positioning it as the marquee event in the heavyweight division. However, there is a potential downside if both Fury and Joshua are coming off knockout losses by the time they meet. Hearn acknowledged that if Usyk knocks out Fury in their December rematch, it could hurt the allure of a Fury-Joshua fight. British boxing fans, who have been eager to see their two national heroes face off, might be less enthusiastic if both fighters are coming off brutal losses. A bout between two fighters who were recently knocked out could lose some of its appeal, especially if it seems like both are on the decline. Still, the historical rivalry between Fury and Joshua, combined with their marketability, might be enough to overcome these concerns and make the fight a massive event, even if the timing isn't ideal. Tyson Fury, who stands 6'8" with an 85-inch reach, has the physical size and technical skills to potentially go the full 12 rounds against Usyk, even if he loses. Fury is known for his endurance and has previously shown the ability to survive tough situations in the ring. In their first fight, Fury benefited from a controversial moment where the referee gave him a standing 8 count after he was rocked by a series of unanswered punches from Usyk. That moment bought Fury valuable time to recover and continue in the fight, though he still went on to lose. Some analysts believe that Fury's size and ring IQ could help him last the distance against Usyk again, even if he's outclassed. If Fury can stay competitive and avoid a knockout loss, the potential for a future fight with Joshua remains very much alive. Ultimately, the December 21st Saint fight between Fury and Usyk will determine the future of the heavyweight division and Joshua's next big move. Fans and analysts alike are eagerly awaiting the outcome, as it will shape the landscape for the next year. Regardless of who wins, the potential for a Fury-Joshua showdown remains tantalizing, offering a chance to finally settle the debate over who is the best British heavyweight of this era. Whether Fury defends his titles or rebounds from a loss, the boxing world will be watching closely, as this fight could be the key to one of the biggest events in recent boxing history. The anticipation surrounding a potential Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury fight is not just about the clash of their boxing skills, but also the historical significance of such a match for British boxing. Both fighters are regarded as national icons, and a bout between them would be a monumental event, perhaps one of the biggest British boxing matches ever. For years, fans have speculated about what would happen if the two champions met in the ring, but circumstances have always kept the fight just out of reach. The contrast in their styles, Joshua's power and athleticism versus Fury's technical mastery and unpredictable ring craft, adds to the intrigue, making it a classic boxer versus puncher narrative. Whether it's Fury's unorthodox approach or Joshua's explosive combinations, the fight promises to deliver drama and excitement for boxing fans around the world. It's a match that would undoubtedly capture global attention and could even transcend the sport itself. Additionally, the fight would offer both boxers a chance to redeem themselves and solidify their legacies. For Joshua, who has faced criticism after several high-profile losses, defeating Fury would re-establish him as a dominant force in the division and put him back on top of the heavyweight scene. For Fury, it would be an opportunity to cement his status as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, especially if he overcomes Usyk and then takes on Joshua. The pressure on both men to perform would be immense. But it's that kind of pressure that often brings out the best in elite athletes. With the potential for huge pay-per-view numbers, global media attention, and the stakes of their legacies on the line, this fight has all the ingredients to become a historic moment in boxing. Whether it's for the heavyweight titles or simply for pride, a Joshua versus Fury fight is one that fans and pundits alike are desperate to see.